There's a short video.
Oh, sorry. It should just one moment. Sorry.
That's okay.
Matt's helping out with this.
Bill 361, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting is being live streamed on the CCTA website. The chair will call upon members, staff, and other speakers by name. Please speak clearly and state your name before giving comments or remarks. Persons participating via Zoom with their cameras enabled are reminded that their activities are visible to viewers. Members participating by Zoom wishing to speak should physically raise their hand and unmute their mic when called upon. Members should mute their mics when done speaking. Citizens participating by Zoom wishing to speak should use the Raise Hand feature or dial *9 if participating via phone, and the chair or staff will call upon them at the appropriate time. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. After 3 minutes, staff will lower their hand and mute their mic. Participants via phone will be called upon by the last 4 digits of their phone number. It is requested that public speakers state their names and organization, but providing such information is voluntary. Written public comments received in accordance with the teleconferencing special notice for public comment guidelines are printed on the meeting agenda. If authors of the written correspondence would like to speak, they should raise their hand and the chair will call upon them at the appropriate time. All written correspondence received after that and during the meeting will be entered into the record. A roll call vote will be taken for all action items. Thank you for participating in a meeting of the Contra Costa Transportation Authority.
Thank you. And Jackie, would you please now call the roll?
Yes, Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Mitchoff.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
Vice Chair Hudson. Chair Haskew.
Here.
Okay, we have all commissioners present except for Commissioners Kelly and Vice Chair Hudson.
All right, the next item on the agenda is public comment. Jackie, have we received any public comment?
No public comments received.
And anybody here who's interested in making it live? No. Okay. Comment. Next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. Are there any changes or comments by the committee? If so, please so indicate. I'm seeing none. Anybody from the public?
No public comment.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
So move.
May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion and a second. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Mitchoff.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Vice Chair Hudson. Chair Haskew.
Yes.
And motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Kelly and Vice Chair Hudson absent.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And let's just kind of play ping pong with the motions and the seconds, because we've got two very bright people on our commission here to do that work. The next item is a regular item. It's about State Route 4 Car Division project. And let's see, who is going to deliver that message? John, thank you. Would you go forward, please?
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Haskew and Commissioners. My name is John Huang, Director of Planning. For this item, staff is seeking your recommendation to authorize the chair to execute task order number 3 to our agreement for number 499 with consultant Mark Thomas for an amount not to exceed $547,100 for preparing the State Route 4 Corridor Vision project. This State Route 4 corridor vision study will be looking at the whole State Route 4 corridor, extending from Hercules in West County to Discovery Bay in East County. We will be looking at all modes of transportation on the network. As you know, there have been a number of studies on this corridor over the years. Most recently, the East County Integrated Transit Study was completed earlier this year. And also the State Route 4 design alternative analysis was completed last year, 2020, and other studies completed over the past 10 years. Those projects are listed in the staff report. The goal of this project is to leverage those efforts and develop an updated list of projects for consideration. Mark Thomas is one of our projects on-call consultant, and we're looking at the amount of $547,100. This amount was included in the board approved fiscal year 22-23 budget. With that, I'll answer and take questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that report. Does anybody in the committee have any questions? Comments? Okay,
I'm happy to move the item.
Okay, I'm going to ask for public
Second.
comment. Thank you. What a team you guys are. I'm going to ask for public comment, and I'm just going to guess we don't have any.
No written public comments on this item.
And anybody here capable of qualifying to make a public comment? No. Okay, so we've covered that, and now we need a roll call vote.
I believe we had a first by Mitchoff on this item. We still
Yes.
need a second.
A
Still
second
need
by
a
White.
second. Oh, second from White. Okay, thank you, Commissioner White. Okay, so Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Mitchoff,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hudson, Chair Haskew.
Yes,
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Kelly and Vice Chair Hudson absent.
thank you. And probably we're up to the real reason for this meeting, the approval of Contra Costa's One Bay Area Cycle OBAG County and Local Program Project nomination list. Thank you. And John Huang, I believe you're going to take it on again.
Yes, Chair Haskew, thank you again. Good evening. For this item, staff is seeking your recommendation for the board to approve resolution 2225G, which is included in the packet, which includes OBAG 3 Contra Costa County Local and Program Project Nomination List to be submitted to MTC. I have a short slide deck here, basically to refresh yourself on the OBAG process and the program in general. Again, this is an MTC, Metropolitan Transportation Commission program call for projects, and we at CCTA is facilitating the call for projects in the county. Funding is from surface transportation funds and the congestion mitigation air quality improvement funds. The funds will be available for over a 4-year period from fiscal year 22-23 to 25-26. Next slide, please. The call for projects is again an MTC call for projects for all 9 counties. CCTA as the CMA Congestion Management Agency or Countywide Transportation Authority for Contra Costa is responsible for facilitating this for Contra Costa. As MTC laid out its policy, the program is focused mainly on PDAs, which is the priority development areas and equity priority communities, EPCs. Per their policy, 70% of the money will be focused on those areas, and CCTA have structured our program to follow those guidelines. Next slide. So for Contra Costa's program, we're looking at $56.8 million in nomination amount. Now there's 3 categories which slightly changed based on the recommendation from the Technical Coordinating Committee. The 3 categories still remains the same, which is the number 1, safe route to school, non-infrastructure. Category number 2 is the active transportation and safety. And category number 3 is the smart signals, countywide smart signals. What changed at the technical committee, coordinating committee, is that the split of the money of the funds available, the committee recommended that the Safe Route to School non-infrastructure budget will be 3.6 million, thus reducing the 50-50 split between the active transportation and safety and the start signals. So originally it was a little bit higher, as I mentioned in the footnote there, but now it's down to 26.6 million for those respective programs. Again, just to recap, the Safe Route to School non-infrastructure, CCTA will be the project sponsor for that project, and there are partners along with the project, including Street Smarts Diablo, Street Smarts San Ramon, and the Contra Costa Health Services. For category 2, active transportation and safety, we issued a call for projects, and I will get into that a little bit further down later on the slide. And category number 3 is the smart signals. CCTA is the project sponsor for this project, and we've met with all the cities and the county, and the matching funds that we provided by the local agencies. Next slide. So for the non-infrastructure Safe Route to School, again, this is to promote safety, encourage walking and bicycling, and promoting education, encouragement, and evaluation equity values. This is not to build infrastructure, but really to educate and do outreach. Between the 3 partners, the total number of schools served will be 274 schools, and that's all the schools within the county. And the number of students served will be 168,633. Now that again covers all the county, all the school districts, and all the schools. And the total cost is 4.4 million, of which 3.6 million is requested from OBAG. Next. The active transportation and safety, which is the ATS, CCTA issued a call for projects, and the eligible applicants besides the cities and the town, the transit agencies, and BART were eligible applicants, and those are the criteria that established that was part of the call for projects, including a minimum match of 11.5% and a minimum project grant amount of 500,000. Next slide. So as a result of the call for projects, we receive 18 applications. Let me start over. We received 29 applications. 18 jurisdictions actually applied, 15 cities, including the county, and 3 non-cities, including AC Transit, BART, and East Bay Regional Park District. 10 of those projects were joint projects, meaning multiple cities or multiple agencies combined and to submit the project application. And as you can guess, the project types included bike and ped projects, trail projects, and transit improvement. It was really well oversubscribed. We only had 26.6 million available, and it was oversubscribed. We had a total of $111 million requested. So as you can see, there was a heavy lift in prioritizing those projects. Next slide. Colin. And so, okay. So we did assemble a review panel, and those projects were scored using these scoring categories. Again, these scoring categories is in line with the categories that MTC will be using to evaluate the projects. Next slide. I mentioned six evaluators were on the panel, and their names and agencies are listed in the staff report. The project's application were due in mid-July, and we had to do a quick turnaround to evaluate and prioritize the projects before the end of July. Next slide. At the end of the day, the panel, not staff, the panel prioritized these top 10 projects. As you can see, the funds requested, all the projects were fully funded. Project 9, the request amount was $1.67 million, but we peeled off $700,000 off of that because the $700,000 was going towards the non-infrastructure, which is already covered under another category. And the remaining balance went to Walnut Creek. So a total of $26.5 million. Next slide. For the Smart Signals project, staff over the past several months met with all the city's staff to identify key intersections that are located between PDAs and EPC areas. And these corridors were major corridors, major arterials, and located on routes of regional significance. We wanted to make sure that the cities buy off on the location of these intersections. And the project is really to upgrade antiquated equipment, including traffic signal systems, software and communications, and really deploy ITS, intelligent transmission systems, including cameras and video detection and so forth. All 20 jurisdictions are participating, and we've identified countywide 315 intersections total. The total project cost is roughly $32.8 million, and we're asking $26.6 million from OBAG. Next slide. These are the criteria that CCTA used to make sure that our projects that are being nominated to MTC meet all this, because this is what MTC will be looking at. We look at eligibility, we look at deliverability, and community support, as well as community serve. Next slide. This is a snapshot of all the projects. So we have the 10 projects from the ATS, the Safe Route to School Non-Infrastructure Project, and the Smart Signals Project. So total nomination amount is $56.8 million. Now keep in mind that, if you recall, this is 120% of our targeted amount of $47 million. So MTC will be shaving off approximately $10 million. Next slide. The projects that we are submitting to MTC is the first step, which is under the CTA prioritizations. Essentially, we've gone through the prioritization process and submitting our projects. Now MTC will apply their regional criteria of 25 points. So considering everything being equal, all of our projects will have 75 points, and MTC will evaluate our projects for up to 25 points. If the project is eligible for CMAQ funding, then the project will receive an extra 10 points. Overall, MTC is looking at balancing investment within PDAs and the bike and ped and safety projects, as well as Safe Route to School. Next slide. This slide is important for the board. It was expressed by the board that regional equity was important. So this is a table, a chart that's also in this staff report, indicating the split between the 4 sub-regions. As you can see, we came pretty close, very close, and this is using following the process. So at the end, there's a variation of up to mostly 5%, but overall, we consider it meeting our goal of regional equity. And again, as expressed by the board's CCT staff, will be working closely with MTC staff as they are looking at the projects and deciding how much funds to reduce from what we're asking from the nomination list. Next slide. So we're here at the PC meeting for September 7th. As you can see, it's been a long process since the release of the call for projects back in May. And with your recommendations, we will take this list to the board later this month with the intention of submitting the final projects list to MTC by September 30th. With that, I'm glad to answer your questions.
Does anybody in the committee have any questions?
I do not.
Okay, and none from you, Karen, and I have none as well. So let's go out to public comment. Is there any public comment to be had?
I don't see any hands raised, and they received no written public comment.
Thank you. Is there a motion from the committee?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. And since everything has been done formally, we may close it up with a roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Mitchoff,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hudson, Chair Haskew.
Yes,
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Kelly and Vice Chair Hudson absent.
okay. And then that takes us up to item C. So the approval of the updated list of local projects for countywide bicycle and pedestrian plan. And it looks to me like Colin is going to present. Oh, hi, Colin. How are you?
Hi, Chair
I'm
Haskew. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
So,
Could be
what's
partying,
that?
but I said I could be partying, but I'm hanging with you guys.
sorry, we'll try to make this efficient and streamlined for you.
Okay.
A League of California Cities, but instead she's in Walnut Creek, California.
No, I'm doing it from my hotel room.
Cool.
So this third item on the regular agenda, followed by the fourth, will each be presented by me. This first one is in relation to the countywide bike and ped plan project list. So the bike and ped plan project list was first adopted in July of 2018 as part of Resolution 1845G, and this action requested today is seeking approval of the updated list of local projects to basically update that list that was initially adopted in 2018 because it's outdated, stale, and needed quite a bit of coordination with each of our jurisdictions. And so over the last 9-ish months, we've been coordinating with each of our jurisdictions, including transit agencies and the Park District. This is the list that has been presented by local agencies in terms of which projects would be removed from the list, in most cases because it was completed and constructed. It also includes a list that proposes projects to add to the countywide bike and ped plan, and addresses countywide Vision Zero and Safe Streets and Roads for All, which is a federal grant program from USDOT. And the list of projects is one of those things that we anticipate being kind of a living document. I've had extended an open invitation to each of our jurisdictions to continue keeping us updated on what their local priorities are so that we can continue to refine the list as time goes on, in particular as it relates to different jurisdictions finishing up their local road safety plans and having project lists from those, and different capital improvement programs and that kind of thing. So all that said, this request is to approve the updated list of local projects for the countywide bike and ped plan, with minor modifications going to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Committee, do we have any questions or comments? Not seeing any. That being the case, we'll go through the public comment question and see if there is any public comment.
No written public comment, and looks like there is no public folks on the meeting as of right now.
All righty.
I'll move the item.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. That's so well done. We'll now ask for a roll call vote.
All right, Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Mitchoff,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hudson, Chair Haskew.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Kelly absent as well as Vice Chair Hudson absent.
Thank you very much. And as an extra added bonus, we have item number D, the Contra Costa Countywide Transportation Safety Policy and Implementation Guide for Local Agencies. And I actually don't know who's going to present this. Is this you, Colin, as well? All right.
Yes.
You did so well. Let's do it again.
Thank you. So we'll try to keep this one short and sweet also. So the US DOT Safe SS4A Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program over the next 5 years, $1 billion per year nationally, and roughly $150 million statewide each year of those 5 years. CCTA and its jurisdictions have a huge opportunity to compete for funds to help implement countywide Vision Zero. And so this item before you today, the fourth item, is seeking review, comment, and approval of the proposed draft resolution 2140G revision 1, which is basically revising the existing resolution 2140G that was adopted by the full board in September of 2021, which was the first major action following the 2018 countywide bike and ped plan that had recommended Vision Zero framework being adopted. And so that initial resolution 2140G had addressed transportation safety from a countywide perspective as a priority. And in order to initiate additional competitiveness and eligibility so that CCTA can work with its jurisdictions to submit an implementation grant in this first year, which is due September this month. The idea is to adopt this revised policy resolution to solidify the commitment to Vision Zero explicitly, in particular as it relates to SS4A checklist in terms of what is considered an eligible comprehensive safety action plan. And so this resolution basically, it establishes a Vision Zero date and timeline. It integrates the countywide bike and ped plan and its project list and the existing countywide policy and implementation guide for local agencies all into what SS4A and the US DOT consider a comprehensive safety action plan. And I knew I know I threw a bunch of terms out there, so feel free to ask questions.
Actually, I think you explained it really well. I followed almost all of it. Does any other member of the committee have any questions or comments?
I do not.
No, I'm not seeing lots of heads, Bob. Okay, so that being the case, onward to public comment.
No written public comment on this item. And I don't see any hands raised.
Oh, good, we're getting this down pat. Then in that case, we will ask for a roll call.
We have a motion, I think, from Mr.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing that Mr. White actually made a motion, didn't you, Mr.
I
White?
actually seconded it.
I remembered that. It was just by mind meld. Okay, everybody really agree with what happened? Okay, great. Now may I have a roll call vote?
I'm sorry, was that a motion from?
Motion.
Yes.
White. Yep.
Oh, okay. And then Mitchoff with the second. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Just making sure here.
Jackie, you got to keep up.
Thank you. Okay, so Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Mitchoff,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hudson, Chair Haskew.
Yes, of course.
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Kelly and Vice Chair Hudson absent.
Okay, next item is correspondence and communications. I'm guessing there are none. Can somebody nod and say that the guess is okay? Yep, we got a nod. Commissioner and staff comments. I have none. Does anybody?
I would ask you, Chair Haskew, to let Commissioner Kelly know, and perhaps Mayor Hudson, if he's there, that you made the meeting while they chose to play. Just an observation.
I will actually follow my instructions. Thank you very much. And thank you, commissioners. Oh, staff. Staff probably has anything. Do you have anything to add, anybody? Yes.
Yeah, hello everyone. Tim Haley, Executive Director. I've got just one announcement. And so I wanted to proudly introduce our new Director of Mobility Programs, Ying Smith, to our staff. And I'll also be doing the same introduction at our full board meeting in September, but welcome to our team. She's got a long line of experience in transit, mobility programs. She worked at the city of Los Gatos and literally started mobility programs from scratch with the city. So, and very successful in her tenure there at the city, and then also joined us from VTA. So just really wanted to welcome Ying. And then Ying, I don't know if you want to say just a few words.
Well, thank you, team. Yeah, commissioners. So I'm super excited to be here. Really good to meet you. And I'm just excited to join the team and help move things along and just follow the lead here and do my best.
Nice to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Yes, thank you. Two of the members of the Accessible Transportation Group are here as well. I am one and Supervisor Mitchoff is the other. So we're looking forward to really getting some good stuff done. I'm looking for the answer to the question, any other business? Nodding no is, well, I don't think you can nod no, but okay. Okay. And then the next item is the adjournment, and we'll see each other again on October 5th at 6 p.m. And I'll let you know how the party went and what we did. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.